David Boer. All right, I have 3 files here for Mr. Boer. Let's see, I have new felony, I have bond violation, and then I have a misdemeanor. All right. On the record in State of Michigan versus David Anthony Boer, 2500425FY.
Assistant Public Defender Jacob Raleigh appearing on behalf of Mr. Boer for the purpose of this arraignment.
And you are David Boer, sir?
Yes.
Okay. In this file, what I have here is a felony complaint. This alleges that in count 1, the possession of methamphetamine, it says on or about February 11, 2025 at East Genesee and Lesher Place in the city of Lansing, you did knowingly or intentionally possess methamphetamine, a felony punishable by 10 years and or $15,000. Count 2, possession of...
I find that hard to believe. He does not look like the kind of guy that would be on meth. This is Alyssa's fault, by the way.
Burglar's tools. On or about February 11, 2025 at East Genesee and Lesher Place in Lansing, you did knowingly have in your possession lock-picking tools and or knives, said items being adapted and designed for cutting or burning through, forcing or breaking open a building, room, vault, safe, or other depository in order to steal therefrom any money or other property, knowing said items were adapted and designed for said purpose, with the intent to use or employ same for the said purpose, felony 10 years. Count 3, carrying a concealed weapon on or about February 11 at East Genesee and Lesher Place in the city of Lansing did carry a dangerous weapon, that being a double-edged knife concealed on or about your person. Felony, 5 years and or $2,500 with mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device. Count 4, resisting or obstructing a police officer on or about February 11 at East Genesee and Lesher Place did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Aaliyah Cutler and or Damon Pulver, police officers with the Lansing Police Department that you knew or had reason to know were performing their duties. Felony,
Actually,
2 years
they
and...
assaulted me when they knocked down my fucking tooth.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about right now. Felony, 2 years and or $2,000. A consecutive sentence may be imposed if the assault was committed in place of confinement or for any other violation arising from the same transaction. Do you understand the 4 charges I've read to you and the possible penalties?
Oh yeah, that was a rage quit. He's out. He's left the building.
He just walked out, Judge.
Well, he can just stay in jail till tomorrow then. We'll do a different one.
Well, I guess he didn't leave the building. He left the room.
You can just hold Mr. Boer till tomorrow then, and then we'll arraign him tomorrow.
Great, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to play games. Amber Valencia.
Yeah, the judge wasn't feeling it. That was kind of fun. This guy's just a vibe. Mostly I like the way he talks.
Mr. Shirley, my name is Jailer Shirley.
Sorry, what's your name, sir?
Mr. Shirley, my name is Jailer Shirley. I was going to say one thing if I could, if it was possible.
Sir, Mr. Sharp?
Yes, ma'am.
Magistrate Trump there. Okay, Mr. Sharp, you have 2 criminal matters and you have some misdemeanor matters. Let me talk first. You will have the opportunity to speak, sir.
Yes,
however, you do have an attorney to represent you. Do you understand that, Mr. Sharp?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me go over the misdemeanor matters. That's where nobody showed up. You didn't show up for court, so you're going to get a personal bond. Nobody has to pay money for you to get out of jail. The maximum penalty on each misdemeanor is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. We're going to enter a plea of not guilty. First case is U 508-010-19. The misdemeanor is disorderly conduct. Next ticket is U 303-392-16. trespass. Court date is March 13, 2025, pre-trial in front of Judge Archer. Mr. Sharp, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say or lay writing, it can be used against you in a court of law. You also right to an attorney, have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do understand. I
Or
just,
do you not understand, Mr. Sharp?
I just wanted to know that, like, I got into a bad car accident, and they sent me medical treatment, so I wouldn't miss court on purpose or anything like that.
All right, so Mr. Sharp, what we're gonna do is, one, DDC, can you mark his file medical?
Copy.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Sharp, did you understand about the misdemeanors that I just told you, the court date?
Yes, ma'am, I will be there.
Okay, so that's March 13th in front of Judge Archer. You understand that?
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Yes, and I will make sure I'm there. I will not be late or
All right.
anything.
All right, so Mr. Sharp, let your attorney speak for you. I've heard a little bit of information from you, so you can stay silent. You still have the right to speak. Let me give you these two case numbers. Case numbers 24044973001. The charge is assault and battery from June 23rd, 2024. The other case number is 16045866601. The charge is breaking and entering a vehicle to steal property less than $200. That is from October 2016. Counselor Scheib, you wait for me to read and stand mute.
Yes, Your Honor. Jessica Scheib on behalf of Mr. Sharp on both matters.
And he was advised of his constitutional rights, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. Mr. Sharp, you have a court date for these criminal matters. Same court date, February 24th, 2025. It's a review and a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant.
Yes, ma'am.
Here in 36th District Court. All right, Mr. Sharp. Okay, with the assault and battery.
Oh, I really want to see him in front of Judge Bryant. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
Case. You're not to have contact with a Stephen Davenport. That means no person-to-person contact, no contact with third parties, no phone calls, no emails, no text messaging.
No.
Okay, I'm asking you to please listen.
Yes,
No
ma'am.
contact with Mr. Davenport.
Yes.
You are not to go back to the West Outer Drive location. Okay,
Yeah.
6071 West Outer Drive. You're not to possess any firearms or any other dangerous weapons. Do you understand those bond conditions, Mr.
Yes,
Sharp?
you was understood very clearly.
Okay, I want to make sure as to those. Let me give you some other bond conditions on the other case, which is breaking and entering motor vehicle misdemeanor. Okay, sir, on that case,
This was
hold on.
like 10 years
Okay,
ago.
yeah, that's right. Almost 10 years ago. And I don't see any bond conditions except that there was a tether house arrest, medical only. So other than that, on both, you did not show up for court, sir. That was January 13, 2025, and bond was set. When you did not show up, bond was set at $1,000, 10% on each case.
Mr. Sharp, I was inside the
Mr. Sharp, I'm going to give you a moment to say something, but let the attorney speak first, okay?
I mean, don't make me play it. It goes right in line with our song.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Counsel Coyle.
In which case would you like me to address? I can address them. I'll start with the first one, the 16 case. That's an adjudicated matter. He pled guilty back in July of 18. He has 8 failure to appears on that case. He's been given personal bonds. He's been given tethers. And this case is from October of 16. And like I said, the only person that's stopping him from finishing this case is Mr. Sharp himself. So on that matter, Your Honor, I have no objection to a personal if you attach a tether because there's 8 failures to appear. As to also the 24 case, this started back in June of 24. So we're just over 6 months and we have 3 failures to appear. He originally got a $25,000 personal with the tether And Judge Bryant removed that tether a month later, and then three more failures, the three failures to appear occurred. So for that, Your Honor, I'm asking
Have you ever had a failure to appear?
Possibly.
bond to remain in place, and for the 16 with the personal with the tether.
Counsel Shive, go ahead, ma'am.
So, Your Honor, he was just arrested at the hospital. He's got many issues going on, including he says he was in a car accident and he was in a coma from September until January. I was unable to verify that right now. He says he has the medical records, I believe. I know there's multiple capiases. I know we're handling 2 matters. I can't speak to every single capias, but I can tell you from last September till this January, my client indicates that he was in a coma from a bad accident. He also was arrested at the hospital. He does have a job at Chrysler Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. He has a child. He lives with his mother. He's a lifelong resident of Detroit. I see that he's 26, 27 right now. The 2016 matter, would have been when he was about 17, 18. There's no excuses. There are explanations to why he might have missed. Now, back then, maybe he was on the newer ones. Maybe he was in the coma. Whatever the case may be, we've explained to him. He's got to be in court. This 2016 matter is still pending because he didn't make it to court. He wants to put all of these matters behind him. We're very happy that he's a high school grad, that he is employed and he's working, that he takes care of his child, that he lives with his mother. So I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a reasonable bond here so he can finally get these matters all behind him and be able to get on with his life and put these misdemeanors behind him, Your Honor.
Counsel Shive? Counsel Shive, can you tell me?
All
All right, Mr. Sheriff, wait a minute. I haven't finished. Let me talk to your attorney. Counsel Shive, when did he get the job at Chrysler?
Sir, how long have you had the job at Chrysler?
I've been working there since 2022.
Okay.
So I've been working there for 3 years. Like, I've been trying to do the right thing, staying out of trouble.
Okay, Mr. Sharp, the
court.
court just asked when you got the job. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, I've heard the representations on both sides, this particular matter. He did not show up for court. And this was just last month. However, he went in front of Judge McConigal last year. And Judge McConigal, October 2nd, 2024, Judge McConigal gave him personal bond. Judge McConigal also gave him $100 personal bond and gave him a GPS tether, house arrest, medical only. Okay. And yet he's been working, counsel, you said he's been working for Chrysler for 3 years. So I'm not sure what's going on. I will go back to what Judge McConigal gave. I'll give him one time only. He's going to get a personal bond, $100. He's going to be placed on a GPS tether. It's going to be house arrest, medical only.
May he be allowed to go to work as well, only with a curfew?
No.
So I gotta lose my job to provide for my daughter?
Well, hold on, sir. Hold on. Don't interrupt the court. Your Honor, if the court would consider him going to work and work only with a curfew, just so he doesn't lose that job.
Come on, Judge. He's super dad. You gotta let him continue to provide for that family as he lives at his mom's.
And continue
You know what?
for his
I'm gonna go and let Judge Bryant deal with that, whether or not for him to go him on the GPS tether. Okay, it's either that or he can get the $1,000, 10%. Okay, Mr. Sharp.
I just said
You didn't know y'all stink. Okay, that's just my opinion.
I'll take the person.
Okay, so it's going to be $100 personal bond with the GPS tether on both cases. And Mr. Sharp, let your attorney know so your attorney can approach Judge Bryan as to the GPS tether, bond conditions, either removing it or allowing you to go to work aside from just medical appointments.
What will I speak to him?
Whoever your attorney is, sir. Okay, that concludes your arraignment, sir.
We'll be in contact with you, sir.
I think I think his strong exit is my favorite part.
We have a phone number and we'll try to address the tether. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Oh, are you serious, dog? I can't just to me, dog.
Are you serious, dog? Also, when given the option, he's like, no, I'll take the personal bond with the tether so I can't go to work. Over $100. No, he doesn't have a job there. He's lying.
What's up next for video?
All right.
All right, this one's Zach's fault. We've got us a low stakes Donnybrook between two Karens in small claims court. Good times.
We are here on this case file 2500009SC, Altman versus Sweeney. You are both here to engage in a small claims case. What that means is we're trying to do this without attorneys. There are no lawyers involved at this point. You're also asking that this not be in front of a jury or anything like that, but be decided right here in front of me. So first things first, if you're both ready, willing, and able to proceed in front of me, the first thing I'm going to do is swear you both in. So if you can go ahead and raise your right hands. Swear or affirm anything you testify to here would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I don't get too much information ahead of time on these cases, but it seems to me, first of all, the relationship between the two of you, you were friends at some point. Is that correct?
Yes.
And since then, you've had sort of a falling out or distance. You don't really consider yourself friendly anymore?
No. No.
Okay.
No.
So this lawsuit is because Ms. Altman is saying that there was numerous times where she lent money to Ms. Sweeney and is looking to get that money paid back. I have a dollar amount here, $985. And so I'll start with you, Ms. Altman, where that $985 comes from. I did see your exhibits here that there was cash payments. I have the cash payments somewhere around $550. Does that feel right to you?
Yes.
All right. And then I have another $145.98. That seems to be a receipt for a hotel room paid for.
Yes.
All right. But that is, let's see here.
There's 2 hotel rooms.
Maybe that was what it was. I only saw, I was just wondering how we got to 985 because I didn't quite see all that, but let me look again here.
I think the hotel rooms are 335 total, both of them. The receipt should all be there.
Yep, I may have just seen. Let's see here. 2 nights.
Two nights on one and 2 nights on the other.
Yeah, I do think I only do see it as that there's one at the Baymont here. One receipt for essentially. So what was the other? 145.98, and then what was the other hotel receipt?
In total, there was about $335.
All right. I hate to even ask, but is this Love Boat scenario? I can't even tell. I tried to think about it, and then I just didn't want to.
All right, so the other one is also about the same amount.
Yes.
Right around like 155 or something like that. All right. Well, I'm sorry, what'd you say? 3, how much in hotels? 3, what?
It was about 335.
All right. And that's how we get to 885. All right. And it's, well, I still have that as 885.
And then another 75 for, I'm not sure what, back about 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And the receipt for that is in there as well.
All right. Let's see here.
I think it's
and then
April
essentially what you're saying is, hey, this money, when it was given with the understanding that it would be paid back, not as a gift.
Yes.
And then in your attempts to get it back, things just kind of fell apart. And Miss Sweeney's position is, I don't owe the money back because what, Miss Sweeney?
I have a few reasons. Okay.
She thinks she should be paid for friendship.
That's not true.
That's what I saw, but I want to hear it from her.
That is 100%
I have
not true.
I have voicemails and texts showing that that's the case.
Miss Altman, it's not your turn to talk now. Miss Sweeney, why is it that you...
Okay, paid for friendship. I think she's, I think she's calling her, 304 sort of thing she's doing there. It's subtle. Let me see here. All right, I can't find it. We'll have to move
You
along.
would say...
I'm not gonna fight her on the 555. I'm not gonna fight her on that. What I will fight her on is the hotel, because she made me homeless that weekend. She called my mom, engaged with my mother, and my mom kicked me out for a few days. She offered the hotel with the kindness of her own heart. I did not want that because I knew this was going to happen. I've been told repeatedly over the 2 years that I will not make you pay for the hotel. I will not make you pay for the hotel. And now that she's mad at me, she wants me to pay for the hotel.
I say the words that she said, or
sure. I need for you to tell me what went on.
That I'm not on that whole shit. I'm not with that whole shit.
But you're saying the actual just transfers of cash, that was to help you out with an expectation that when you were able to,
there was really no expectation to get paid, because she's told me multiple times I don't have to pay. I'm going to do the right thing and be a good human being and pay that back, even though I feel like I don't really need to, because Miss Altman has cost me far more money than $1,000. I'm a contract worker. I use my phone. There has been multiple times that I had to stop working because she would not stop calling me. And I mean like 40 phone calls in an hour, 40 text messages in 2 hours.
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like that.
Don't get me wrong. I kind of understand.
That never happened.
Here, listen,
yes,
listen
it
to
did.
me. Listen
yes, it
to
did.
me, ladies. Do not talk to each other. Okay. Essentially, what we don't want to do is get lost going down the rabbit hole of, all the things that were part of the sort of falling out and the not getting along. And I find it a lot easier if we just stick to the hard numbers. So I have basically receipts here of, essentially getting either PayPal or Venmo'd that, $550 worth of cash money.
Ma'am, are you a whore? I object to the relevance of that, Your Honor.
All right. What?
I'll tie it up real quick, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
You're not a whore?
Generally, that I understand where you're saying that is, that's assistance. You used it for whatever purposes you used it for, but it came from her. And then these hotel rooms, who's staying in a hotel?
Me and my daughter.
Just you?
Yes,
Okay.
me and my daughter.
It was also her boyfriend.
No, it was not, Judge.
Okay, listen, which one of you ever addresses the other one sort of directly next, I'm going to start.
That's another part right there. It was it was also her boyfriend. Well, so what? I mean, what difference does it make if there's a guy there? If you're friends.
That's going to start cutting into your credibility. All right. And so that was more of a, hey, I need a place to stay. Will you hook me up or no? An offer of hey,
It was
I'm
an
going to pay for
offer
this
of, I
hotel.
did this to
All right.
you, I will help you, please. I didn't want to
And
take it
then
because I knew this was going to
my
happen.
and then my other understanding is, as far as me asking you, okay, ladies, when we deal with proof, in other words, oh, here's the text where she said, of course I owe you back for the hotels, or of course I don't owe you back for the hotels, that you're both just going to be telling me that was verbal and not in terms of a text, right?
No, I do have them in text. I just didn't have enough time to get them because it was on my old phone. But it's on, I have text messages, I have audio messages that states that I do, that was the agreement. Also with the $75 that was given in March, I was also told I didn't have to pay that back. Multiple
What was that
times.
for?
Public service announcement for all of you morons out there. I'm not talking to my chat. I'm talking to all the morons who make this argument. If you don't have it the day of trial, you don't have it. If it exists in some other, alternate universe, but you didn't bring it to court, it doesn't exist.
That is true.
And how is that? How is the 75 different than all the other times that it was kept? What was that for?
It was because she also put me in a position that I didn't need to be in, and she felt guilty, so she gave me the money. And it was my fault that I took it, because everything that Tiffany does for me, I'm just frustrated because I knew she was going to come on.
Let me just ask you a direct question. So the 550 is, okay, the hotels and the 75. I've heard you say it twice. I'm going to let you say that. We don't really need to go down the rabbit hole. But you're essentially saying that money may have come from Tiffany, but it was basically because of something that happened that,
yes,
that Tiffany was saying, okay, here, let me take care of this. But the 550 is different. The 550 is more like, hey, I need money. Okay, here, I'll give you money.
I asked her, yes. And at the time, okay. I mean, since then, she's told me I don't owe it. I will pay it. I gladly will pay it. I just don't feel like
Ladies,
I need to pay for it.
Essentially what's happening here is you guys just got to the point where, you really aren't able to effectively communicate with each other, and you need a third person to step in and just go, bam, all right?
Yeah.
Now, the way this really works is if you really are gifting money and you expect it to be paid back, then by the time we get to court.
They really do need a third person to go, bam. Oh, Judge.
I expect that the way that you would have handled that, Ms. Altman, is literally to say, here, Nicole, I'm going to give you this money, but I want you to sign this piece of paper that I gave you this money and that you're going to pay me back. All right. That is your lesson for the future, Ms. Altman. Without something like that, then essentially this gets very gray of whether or not you're mad at someone and so you want all the money back that you ever spent on them, or things were set up truly like a gift to be repaid. Because we don't have anything like that,
I provided supporting texts.
Yes, ma'am. And essentially what it was saying is, go ahead and take me to court because you guys had just broken down so far. That's not a contract, ma'am. That's two people mad at each other on text. So my decision, and at this point in time, this is just sort of, listen to me now because we're wrapping up. My decision is going to be that I am going to award $550 in damages from defendant to plaintiff. Now, here's what I mean by that is that after today, there'll be a judgment that goes to both parties that says, hey, you owe this money to plaintiff. The court doesn't do collections. We are expecting you guys to handle that satisfaction of judgment from one party to another. Those judgments will get sent out in the mail. Now, here's the important part, the right of appeal. Neither one of you has to agree with what I just decided. Ms. Altman, because she believes more money should be owed, or Ms. Sweeney, because she believes less money should be owed. Either one of you has the right to appeal this decision and say, I don't agree with that. If you wish to appeal, though, you must do two things. One is you must ask for that appeal within 7 days of today's date. Your ability to appeal my judgment after that 7 days closes and is over. And two, you must actually come in and do that in writing. You can't just call the clerk's office and say, I wish to appeal. So there's a 7-day window here for someone to appeal this. where it would then go to general civil in front of the district court judges. Do you understand your rights on appeal, Ms. Altman
Yes.
and Ms. Sweeney?
Yes.
All right. Then we are essentially done with what we need to do here today. I don't see that there's any cost involved here because there was a fee waiver to file, and I have this as no service. So I don't know if there was any process server paid, but I don't have anything to show that. So it would just be one-time damages, money judgment in the amount of $550. But with that, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and release you from court. We're all set for what we need to do here today. Like I said, those orders will come out in the mail, but we do expect the parties to be able to handle that amongst themselves. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joshua Rhodes.
Okay, this is also Alyssa's fault. This guy's a vibe, and he uncorks a fantastic line. It's short.
Okay. I have two files here that look pretty identical, so I'll call them together, I guess. Let's see here. These are City of Lansing versus Joshua Allen Rhodes, 2500106OM and 2500199OM. You, sir, you are Joshua Allen Rhodes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, appearance, please.
Assistant Public Defender Jacob Raleigh appearing on behalf of Mr. Rhodes.
Mr. Rhodes, what I have here is these are both trespassing tickets that you have previously been arraigned on by the magistrate. You were arraigned January 14 and January 24. Trespassing is a misdemeanor violation of city ordinance punishable by up to 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines. One of them says you were trespassing, I think, at Sparrow by refusing to leave. And the other one might be at McLaren. Looks like the McLaren address.
I think I remember this.
So both of these cases, you were previously arraigned and requested a public defender. Looks like you already have a public defender assigned. Looking for the appearances, but I don't see them handy. Oh, wait, here's one. You've got Warren Sutter representing you. All right.
He needed his hat on for 2 seconds during this appearance. I don't know why, but he did.
But you missed court. It looks like you missed court on February 11, which was yesterday. Any good reason you didn't show up for court yesterday?
Actually, I was actually here in jail yesterday.
I'm sorry, you were where?
I was here in jail yesterday. I mean, what time was it? Like 8:30?
Gosh, what time was it? 10:30?
I thought it was today, actually. Honestly, I get my court dates mixed up. I got like 1,000 of them.
So you were already in Lansing Police Department yesterday?
Yeah, I came in last night on a public intox.
Well, last night isn't the same time as yesterday at 10:30 in the morning. So where were you yesterday at 10:30 before you went to jail?
You reckon?
Drinking. Okay. Well, we need you to be at court, though.
I know. I had a bad hangover. I got the
Where were you yesterday during court when you were supposed to be here? Drinking. You know I'm telling the truth because I got picked up last night for drinking. You can't doubt him. I mean, it's not a great thing to say, but I absolutely believe it, and so does the judge.
They've got the pretrial scheduled for February 25th at 1:30 with Judge Simmons. Those are relatively soon, but Mr. Raleigh on bond.
Your Honor, it is apparent to me that Mr. Rhodes is intending to appear at his court dates. I think certainly there was some confusion around the recent dates, but again, these are, at least from all the information available to me is that these are nonviolent misdemeanors, mostly trespass. So my request would be, again, for personal recognizance bond.
Well, Mr. Rhodes, here's the deal. You've had one PR bond on these. If I give you a second one, I can tell you you're probably not getting a third. So you got to make sure you show up for court. What do I got to do to make sure you show up?
I got these slips right here, a little behind me.
Yeah, but see, you got to choose to come to court instead of choose to be out drinking so that you can get this stuff handled so that we don't keep chasing you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you come to court so we don't have to chase you?
Yes, ma'am. I apologize for not showing up to court.
Because you know your lawyer's right, Mr. Riley's right. These aren't violent offenses. They're not things we usually want you in jail for. The only reason we would put you in jail right now is because we can't do our job because you don't show up. So if you show up, you probably don't go to jail for these things. Okay. Okay, one of these looks like it had a 10% bond. The other one had a PR. Bond is set at $200, personal recognizance on each file. But this will be the last PR bond you're going to get on these, so you got to make sure you show up. You should have your notice there from the jail that says be back February 25th at 1:30. Make sure you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Remember, don't commit any crimes while you're out. Show up for court, okay?
Yes, ma'am. On time.
All right, Mr. Riley, anything else for Mr. Rhodes?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bye-bye. These are for you, and then I have the files here that I didn't do, so I'm going to let you grab those separately.
All right.
All right, thanks, Mr. Riley.
There you have it. Just a few clips I had. I had a day, so I was going all day today. I didn't think I would stream, and then I got sent a few good clips, and I thought, why not? I'll do it late. And it always warms my heart when because I'll stream. This is me. You guys know me. I'll stream at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll stream at midnight. I'll stream at noon. I don't care. I got clips, and I'm ready to roll. I'll just do it. But I always expect if I do it at a weird time that I'm going to have like 3 people from the UK. That's or like Australia, or just some other time zone. But that's never what happens. It's never what happens. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I'll see you soon.